Howdy folks, and welcome back to another tech tip. Today we are revisiting a very powerful tool from Google Gemini in NotebookLM. I just want to share some of the updates that have come through it and ways that you can really leverage it for yourself and for your students for when they get access to Gemini for Education. So let's check out. Before, we had the thing where you can upload documents and you can talk to just those specific documents. And he also had creating an audio overview, which both are really interesting. So let's kind of run it from the top, everything in it. So when you log in, you can create a notebook. In here, this is the Provincial School Code of Conduct Policy and Implementation. All I did is I took all the provincial documents for the new Code of Conduct and I uploaded them in here. So I put 4 PDFs in here. You can drag and drop them in by adding sources. You can also search for web links or YouTube videos, and you can build out this notebook with all the material around the subject that you're looking at. So once you have it, you can check which ones you're drawing upon, and then you can ask it a question. So like I say, how do I deal with violence on the playground? It's going to then search those specific sources and give me an answer based on those sources. What I love about this is that it always gives you the reference from where it's getting its information. So unlike ChatGPT, sometimes you ask it a question, and it'll just give you an answer. And you're like, well, I don't know if that's real or not. Then you have to go back and look. You can compare it to the actual verbatim documents. So it's an easy way to cross-check whether this is accurate or not. So immediate action and safety, prioritize safety and security, take it seriously, and then assess it and respond. Intervention should be calm. For younger children, use neutral tone and offer reset opportunities, mandatory reporting, etc. So all of this information is out of those documents from the province. That's cool. But you can see over here, they've added a ton more things. So you can do the audio overview, but now you can do a video overview. You can do a report. You can do a quiz. It'll create a PowerPoint for you, a slideshow, an infographic, flashcards, all of this based on the material you upload. So here's an example of the slide deck that it created, and then you can download it and use it however you want. So it does a really good job. It comes up with an appeasing layout. So obviously you have to go through and make sure it's all good. Responsibility, equity, scope includes pre-primary. Support staff can enter incident reports, debriefing. So, but you can think about how you could use this with curricular outcomes or things you're covering in class. And the behavior matrix. All this stuff from one click of a button is pretty incredible. So we can go down here. The videos, this is an audio. I'm not sure if I covered this, but there's actually a button that's interactive where you can interrupt them and actually talk to it. So if you go to interactive audio, it plays like a podcast.
Welcome back at the Deep Dive. Let's be honest, policy documents are not exactly beach reading, but when they're about how our schools manage student behavior, they suddenly become, critically important. Today we are digging into the new 2025 Provincial School Code of Conduct and its guide, the guide for responding to unacceptable behaviors.
That's right, and this is not just some minor tweak.
It's really a system.
So if you hit Julie...
Hey there, what's up?
Hi, I was just wondering, I'm dealing with an incident where a student was using racialized language, and I'm not sure how I should respond with that.
Wow, that is a fantastic and extremely timely question, and thank you so much for jumping in.
That is precisely what we should talk about right now.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the new Code of Conduct has a specific category for that.
Absolutely. The documents categorize that as racist behavior or discriminatory behavior.
And what's fascinating here is that the policy forces a very specific supportive response first.
Yes, the goal isn't just punishment. For any racist or discriminatory behavior, the suggestive response is heavily focused on education and community involvement.
So I was able to hop into the conversation, ask them a question, and actually steer where the conversation went. If we see the videos are very similar to the audio, but it's basically kind of like a shortened version with some images to go along with it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down a really big deal for Nova Scotia schools, the new provincial school philosophy behind it. After that, we'll see how it actually works for making fair decisions, and finally, we'll talk about what it decisions and that a student's background is really being considered. Actually mean for students, parents, and teachers day to day? What's really going to feel different in the hallways and classrooms? You know, the single biggest change is probably the move from inconsistency to province-wide consistency.
So there's a video, boom, just like that. And then as I said, there's mind maps, so you can actually all right, here's a mind map, so you can say, okay, in the school of conduct, I want to look at guiding principles. So I click on that, and then it'll explore within this chat function that idea. But, you know, you can break it out even more. So okay, guiding principles, responsibility shared by the school and the community, equity, restorative, and relationship. So then you click on that, and then it'll give you the information from those pages about that subject. So what I think is really powerful about this as well, you think about a student, maybe they are out sick, they miss a week's worth of material. They still have to work with that material and learn it and cover it. But you could upload the resources that you have to class and say, okay, well, here's a 5-minute video about what you missed, or here's, you know, a 15-minute audio recording to just get your head around what we talked about while you've been absent. And you can do it with a click of a button, and then the student can then build off of that to try to cover what they've been missing. So I'm going to generate some flashcards. We'll come back to that. Infographic. So boom, I click a button, and it's going to make me one infographic that deals with this information. And you see, it has images, everything's written well. I don't know if all the information is completely correct. I have to go over it. But with the click of a button, there's an infographic about the new code of conduct. What's really neat is that it also has been incorporated into Google Classroom. So if you go into Google Classroom, this is an old Science 10 classroom of mine. Under Create, you can say, I want to create a notebook. So what this does is it creates a notebook based on the information you choose from your Google Classroom and posts it right there in the classroom. So maybe I have a test coming up in this Science 10 course. I want kids to get a chance to review, or maybe it's just time that maybe they're having trouble with a certain subject and I want to create more resources to support that. So I'm in here and I can actually go through and select what I want it to kind of look at. So say I want to just look at weather. I'm going to select weather, and then it selects everything that I've posted in that classroom about weather, and I'm going to create a notebook. And then you can see that it's putting some of the documents in there. And then from there, you could build out reports, build out mind maps, build out audio overviews. And these are things that if the kids click the link in your classroom, they can then work within that notebook, so they can supplement their learning with this. So it's a really powerful tool. It's quite exciting. Here's an example of flashcards. So what's the primary objective of the Provincial School Code of Conduct? Right, to establish and maintain safe and inclusive learning work environments in the province of Nova Scotia. So, but these could be outcomes from your classroom. And you can just go through. So this is a great way for kids to review what they know, get an idea, and it makes 59 flashcards with the click of a button. So this is an extremely powerful tool. I suggest that you leverage it either in your own research for your own professional development, or get it in use with your students. As I said, it's a great way to catch kids up on what they missed or to supplement areas that maybe they're struggling with. So check out NotebookLM, super powerful, very easy to use. That's it from me, and we'll see you in the next one.